Good morning. It is 6 a.m. in the morning here in Croatia, and this will be another programming tutorial. We are still using TTGO T-Display board. You can see it here. This tutorial is part 4. In first 3 videos we learned how to deal with colors, fonts, how to draw text, how to draw images and some simple graphics, and now we will try to use these two push buttons and we will try to make some game, simple game. So here is my idea. Here is road with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lanes, and of course everybody are driving in wrong way. We are only that drives in correct way. Point of game is to use these two buttons. We will call it right button and left button. So point of game is to move from one lane to another to avoid these nasty, bad, evil cars. If there is collision, game will be over. I hope this will be a simple game, but we need to learn simple stuff first. Okay, let's start. So, like always, here I have basic empty sketch. Library needs to be included. Here is object, TFT init, and we will fill whole screen with black. Okay, first I need our car, which is this one, and I will call it player. I will need coordinates of that car, so px is equal 0 and player y. So okay, now I need to choose size of my car. Resolution of this screen is 135 by 240. 135, we have 5 lanes, divide by 5 is 27. I will make this car to be rectangle in size 27 by 27. And initially I want it to be drawn down there, so x coordinate will be 0 and y coordinate will be 240 minus 27. It's too early for me to calculate that in without calculator, so 213. So here it is. 30. And now I need some function which will which will display my car on screen. So fill a rectangle. Coordinate of rectangle is px and py, and size of rectangle is 27 by 27, or car size. And we will choose TFT green. So our car will be green. If I upload this, nothing will happen because we need to call this function. I will call it in loop. And I will upload this. Okay, now down there I can see my car. Okay, now let's try to move it with these two buttons. So TTGO have two push buttons. Sorry. This one is connected to pin 0 and this one is connected to pin 35. So in the setup part of code I need to define them as input pull up. So now they will always be in high state. When we press button, they will be in low state. So they will be 0. Now they are 1. Okay. Now let's add some code to move that player right. So to move player right, we need to push this button. This button is connected to pin 35. So if digital read 35 equal low, so if button is pressed, we need to move our car to one lane to the right. Size of each lane is 27 pixels, so we just need to increment px is equal px plus 27. And now we will draw our car on the new location, but there is always a problem. I will put delay here because it will be too fast for us to see. Delay, we will later delete this, but let's see what happens now. First problem is that now our player is not even visible, because it will be visible only if I press button. So I will need to copy this line, to and put it in also in the setup. So at the beginning of the game, our player will be drawn there. Okay, now we have our player, and if I press the button, rectangle will move, but we first need to delete last one rectangle. So before incrementing this px variable, we need to, I will just copy this and I will draw black. So what is happening here? If I press right button, it will first delete our player on a previous position. So it will delete it by filling a rectangle over it with black color. Next we will increment X position and we will draw it to new position. Let's see now. And now we can move it, but problem is I can move it also off the screen. So here I need more condition. So if button is pressed and, sorry, where is my end? And X is less than 108. Why 108? Because X needs to be less than this position, and this position is 108, which is 135, which is size of screen minus size of the player. Sorry, px. And now I can move my player, but just I can go off the road. But this delay is big problem, so we need to delete it. But if I upload this, our player will be too fast. We need to delete delay, because delay will pause whole program. Whole game will stop for 1 second. We need to find a way we can debounce this button. I will show you in a minute how to do that. Okay, now our player is too fast, so it will just jump to another position. So to debounce something, I will make variable the bounce equal null is equal 0, and I will put all this code in another condition. If the bounce is equal 0, first we will put that the bounce is equal 1, but we need return it to 0 because this will happen only once. So in this part, else is 0. And now it go nice and slowly. Okay, now we need to move it. Now we need to move it to the left with pin 0. I will copy this whole code and paste it here. So if digital read 0 is 0, px will be minus 27, so it will move to the left. And I will also need another debounce variable, so debounce 2, and in this second part of code, when we are moving our car left, I will put debounce 2, debounce 2, debounce 2. Yes. And of course I need to change this if px is higher than 0. This will be my longest video. I hope you will like it. And now I can move my player left and right. Okay, now we need enemy. So I will make more variables. Int enemy x and enemy y. Okay, we have another problem. So enemy will be will also be rectangles in size 27 by 27. So same size like our car. Our car is moving 27 pixels each press, and each cycle of game enemy will move 27 pixels down. We got that 27 by dividing 135 by 5, but resolution of this display, so height of this display is 240. When we divide it by 27, we got this number. So we will multiply 8 by, and we have 260. And 240, 240 minus 260 is 24. So their start coordinate will be 24. This part of screen will try to draw score and some other data. So let's do this. So enemy y is 24. In setup function, I can also draw line. Draw a line which will be 0.23, 1 pixel less than this, and it will be 135.23. And I will also draw string which will be score. I don't know, for example 4 font 2. And of course I will need color, TFT white. And now I have score and our player. Now let's draw the enemy. First I will also draw it in a setup like our player, but before I need to find some place for it. For X coordinates I will make that this coordinate will be random. So random, we have 5 lanes, random 0 to 5, and this will be multiplied by 27. And now I can copy this enemy X and enemy Y. Car size is the same and it will be red, of course, evil, dark side. Compiling the sketch. And now I can see enemy, and each time I reset button, I reset this board, it will be on random position, which is cool. And now we need to move that enemy. So we will again avoid delay function because it will pause whole program. We need to find a way to move our enemy after some amount of time. Okay, this will be maybe confusing. So I will make another variable int t, which will be 0. And in loop I will make that t, every cycle t is incremented by 1. If t is higher than 1 million, yes, 1 million, so 6 zeros, it will draw enemy. Function that still don't exist, we need to make that. And t is again 0. So in loop function till we will be incremented 1 million times. Don't worry, ESP32 is very fast. And when it is higher than 1 million, it will draw enemy on new position. And it will reset itself to 0 and whole process will start over. So now we need a new function which is draw enemy. Again, we will need to fill rectangle, fill EX, PX, EX, AY, 27, 27, TFT, black. So first we need to delete old enemy on old position, and now we need to increment enemy X is enemy Y plus 27, and now I need to fill it, draw it again. Oh my god, I hope you understand me. On this location, let's see what we have now. Now our enemy is moving, but he will move until he reaches China. I don't know. But we need to stop. When he leave the screen, we need to put it back there. If enemy Y is bigger than or bigger or equal 240, enemy Y is our beginner coordinate 24. And enemy X is again, I will copy it from here, random, random X position, and we avoided one enemy, so we can increment score by 1. So score is 0. We can make here that score plus plus incremented by 1, and TFT draw string 44 or 50. Let's try 50. 4 string score 2. So here is whole draw enemy function. And now our enemy is moving, we don't need to avoid it, and score is incremented by 1. Now score is 2. Now score is 3. I don't know where 4, but problem is there is no collision. Game is still running. So we need to end the game on some way. We need DetectCollision function. First I will make variable bool, which can be true or false. Bool game run is equal 1, so is equal true. And whole this loop code I will put in another condition. If game run is equal true, I will put that whole code in. So game will run only if game run variable is true. Now we need to check for the collision. I will make new function, check collision. Check collision. So how we will check for collision? So if enemy position is same like player position, then we know that we had collision and game needs to be stopped. It is simple. If x is equal, px is equal, and oh my god, sorry, and py is equal p enemy y, then game, what is name of game run false. I will upload it. Now game is running, and if there is collision, sorry, I need also call this function in loop. And now we can play, and when collision happens, game is over. That's it for now. We will in next video we will try finish this game. We will add more enemies. We will try to make they move faster and faster, so game will be harder and harder. And that's it. I hope you learned something. I know that I'm sometimes hard to understand, but I'm trying. So now is 7. I am close to 7 here in Croatia. Now I need 3 or 4 hours to edit this, and you will see it on YouTube. I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you watched whole video. So if you watched this whole video, please tell me. I know that this is long video, but it is good feedback to me when when I see that whole video is watched. Okay. Also, like always, feel free to subscribe, don't miss my other videos, and feel free to buy me coffee. Link is in description. Check description, there is always useful information and links and other. Thank you. Please tell me what you think in comments. Goodbye.